Good morning, it's Ekant here from EkantTakePhotos.com, and we are in the final stage of my Auckland trip, and this is probably the final part of this video. And today I've decided to do something a little different, and that's take a photo of the Auckland Museum. We're in the Domain, which is a popular area for the locals to come exercising and play sports and the like. It's also the home of the Auckland Museum. And in a couple of days we've got ANZAC Day. ANZAC Day is the day that we commemorate our fallen soldiers in Australia and New Zealand. And so they've set the area up for a commemoration service at dawn in a couple of days' time. I won't be here for it, but I thought I'd try and take advantage of it. They set up all the crosses here for our fallen soldiers, and in front of the cenotaph, which is the main memorial area. So I thought I'd try and capture this just before sunrise. We've got a few issues to play with here for a photograph. We've got the light pollution not only from those bright floodlights they've got in front of me. The moon is high in the sky. We also have a few cars going around which might give us some streaks in any shots we do or something like that. So we need to try and balance everything out. I do want this shot here with a nice wide angle lens with the crosses in front, but what I don't want to do is blow out the whole scene so that we don't get any detail. So I've come early in the morning to try and see if I can balance it out, maybe with an HDR shot to get both the bright lights as well as the nice strong darks from the sky. But I'm going to hang around for sunrise as well, and hopefully get some colors in the sky. It's a nice clear sky, so we won't get any beautiful streaky clouds, but we might still get some nice colors coming off the east. All right, let me set up here straight in front. I'll put on my 14mm lens, keep it nice and wide, and see what we get. So starting off with the 14mm lens, nice and low, going with a 0.5 second exposure, and what have we got? F8 on my Samyang lens. You can see that the museum is right in the middle and nice and exposed there, but in front we have got the crosses, but it's hard to really tell whether that's going to come out on the camera. So let's take a shot, see how we go. So it looks like it's quite underexposed straight off, which will give us nice definition in the museum, which is nice. But you can see those floodlights are giving us some nice shadows off the crosses in front of us. Now again, because we have got such different colors here at the moment, we might need to do a bracketed shot and see if we can HDR this all in post. Let's set that up and see how we go. So I was getting quite a lot of lens flare off that 14mm Samyang lens, especially coming off those floodlights that are right in front of me. And as cool as that angle was and the distortion, it really wasn't looking like a shot that I'd be really happy with. So I've switched to my 35mm lens, which not only gives us a tighter crop on the museum in front of us, which is the area we're looking at, but also gives us a much tidier shot with regards to the chroma and the chromatic aberration on the corners and things like that. So hopefully we'll get something with this as well. I'm still probably going to bracket this shot just so we don't blow out those highlights and the darks and things like that, but I think we're going to get the shot that's going to be a bit more appealing in the long run this way. So as predicted, it ended up being quite a popular spot. The sun is just starting to come up. There's no real cloud or anything in the sky, so we're not getting any of those beautiful streaks or beautiful sort of dynamic clouds that you like to get at sunrise. So I'm going to move up a little bit and see if I can do one last creative sort of shot around the cenotaph. Cenotaph is where a lot of the commemorations happen, and let's see if I can do one of those little planet shots. I'm not really a fan of them, and not really an expert at them, but I think this might be an opportunity to do it. Yeah, as I said, nice popular space. Ended up with about 4 or 5 photographers out this morning, and most of them, I think 4 out of the 5 were really nice. They came and had a chat, they asked if they can get in the space. Yeah, that's the way to do it. One guy kind of turned up about half an hour after me, you know, grunted at me, kind of eyed me up, and then wandered off to find somewhere else. And yeah, when you've got a popular spot, it's okay to chat to other people, learn from other people. Don't be so arrogant that you think you're the only one here. So just move around each other, share the space. Alright, let's see what we can do here with the cenotaph. So what I was going to do, I was going to stand underneath the cenotaph as close as I can get and take multiple shots going around it and then stitch that all together. And then I read on the floor here a little inscription saying, "Tread not upon except in reverence. Remember this is holy ground." And you know what? That stuck with me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get any closer to the cenotaph now. I might take one or two more shots from here to capture the sunrise, but I couldn't in good conscience say that I'm here to revere the dead. I was here just to get a photograph, and there's far more important things in life than taking photos. So I'm not going to stand here and pretend like I'm revering the dead when I'm not. I'm just trying to get some shots, so I'm not going to step any further. So like I said, I don't really want to get any closer to the cenotaph. I mean, that is holy ground. So I've come back a little bit and found this little water feature here, which seems to be popular with the seagulls, so they're going to get my shot. But I'll try and get a long exposure of this and see if we can get the water running down the front and the memorial in front of me with the museum in the background, and we'll see what we can get. But I probably don't want the seagulls in there, so we'll have to wait until they leave. Okay, the seagulls have gone. I don't like to scare animals away. Like I've said before many times, they've got as much right, if not more right, to be here than I have. So I'm going to try two different ways of doing this. I'm going to have the long exposure sort of shot and see if we can smooth out the water coming for me, but also maybe a little bit more high speedy. So maybe put up to 1/400th of a second, adjust the ISO and the aperture to compensate for that, and see if we can get some sort of still water flowing down it. I can imagine without any color in that water that when we smooth it out, we might not actually get too much excitement from it. It might just feel like it's glass, but the water moving down is quite mesmerizing, so I want to try and capture that.